guys, welcome to session 65. How are you?
Yeah, man. Welcome, guys. Welcome. I'm great. How about you?
I'm very good, yes. Hope you enjoyed the videos. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's get started. Today we want to make some questions. We have 4 items here, number 1, 2, 3, and 4. We want to put the words in the correct order to make new questions about free time. Before we start, look at these 2 questions. Where do you go? Who do you go out with? So these are some questions from the survey. Where do you go is number 3, and who do you go out with, number 4. So these are the questions from the survey. Please look at the questions, Mr. T. I have a question for you. So we have the question word where and who. You should know that in questions, we always use where and who in the beginning of the question. After where and who, what word do we have?
Do?
Do, yes. And sometimes does. So after where, after the question word, we can use do or does. Okay. After that, what do we have?
You, subject.
You, subject, or the name of the person. Subject or you. And after that, we use the verb. Now that we know this, let's go to the questions here. Number 1, it says, I go out on weekends. What's the question?
The correct question, when do you go out?
Exactly. Yeah? When do you go out? When do you go out? I go out on the weekends. Number 2, please.
Who do you go out with?
Yes. Who do you go out with? I go out with my friends. Number 3, please.
What do you do in your free time?
Yes. What do you do in your free time? I go on the internet. And 4?
Number 4. How often does your family eat out together?
Excellent. Yes. Twice a month. Together. Very good. Now we have these questions on the board. When do you go out? Who do you go out with? What do you do in your free time? How often does your family eat out together? Before we talk about the questions, let's practice the conversation. Number 1 and 2, I read A, you read B.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
When do you go out?
I go out on weekends.
Yes, I go out on weekends. Number 2, who do you go out with?
I go out with my friends.
Number 3, you read A, I read B.
What do you do in your free time? Sorry.
I go on the internet. Number 4.
How often does your family eat out together?
Twice a month. Well, now that we have the questions here, we have all the questions, number 1 through 4. We want to ask these questions from each other and answer with my own information. Okay? For example, I ask you number 1, tell me about yourself. When do you go out?
I go out to restaurant in my free time.
Yes. When do you go out? It's about the time.
Okay. Sorry. In the evening.
In the evening. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And who do you go out with?
With my friends.
With my friends. Okay. Please ask me number 3 and 4.
What do you do in your free time?
I usually chat with friends and play video games or watch YouTube clips.
Okay. How often does your family eat out together?
We don't eat out very often, but maybe once a year, once or twice a year. Okay. Now, let's look at this chart. We have how often, who, and where. These 3 questions have different meanings. For example, how often talks about the place. Okay? Talks about the number of the times. Number of the times. So how often do you eat out? I eat out twice a week. I am talking about the number of times that I'm doing something. How often do you eat food or fruits in a day? I eat fruits once a day. That's the number of times. Now, who talks about another information? Can you tell me what information do we want when we ask who?
Which person with you?
Person, exactly, yes. We ask about person. So, this is who. And where is about?
Location.
Exactly, location. Where do you eat out? I eat out in a restaurant near our home. So in summary, how often talks about the number of times something happens, who talks about the person, and where talks about the location of that thing. All right. Now, look at this. Go to the movies. Go to the movies. So this is the activity that we all do in our lives. Now, can you use these questions? How often, who, and where?
Where?
And make questions. Use all of them, not just where. Okay, use all of them to make new questions about go to the movies. For example, where
do you go?
Where do you go?
On the weekend?
On the weekend, yes, or in your free time. On the weekend. Where do you go on the weekends? I can say I go to the movies. Okay. Can you make a question with how often?
How often do you go to the movies?
Excellent. How often do you go to the movies? And when?
When do you go to the movies?
When you go to the movies. So these are three questions that we can say about this activity here, go to the movies. Now guys, I want you to think about this action, going to the movies, and try to answer these three questions about yourself. Please type your answer in the comment and write short answers, please. For example, for me, okay, let's ask Mr. T. Where do you go on the weekends?
On the weekend?
Yes.
I exercise.
Okay.
When
You can say go out.
When I have a free time and I exercise.
Yes, go out to exercise. Okay, short answer. How often do you go to the movies?
Hardly ever. Once a year.
Once a year.
Yeah.
Okay, again, short answer. And when do you go to the movies? In the morning, afternoon, night?
At night.
At night. Okay. So please write your comment like this. Write a short answer for us in the comment. We will check it for you. And thank you so much for watching this. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Thank you.
Bye guys.